Uncertainty. It may sound like something to avoid, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful forces in human relationships. It fuels curiosity, excitement, and attraction. And yet, most people don't realize how deeply uncertainty is wired into our brains. Let's start with a simple experiment. Psychologists have shown that people value uncertain rewards more than certain ones. Imagine two scenarios. In the first, you know you'll get 10 euros for sure. In the second, you have a 50% chance of winning 20 euros. Rationally, both options are worth the same. But emotionally, most people go for the gamble. Why? Because our brains are designed to reward tension and unpredictability. The feeling of, maybe I'll get something bigger, activates dopamine far more strongly than, I know exactly what I'll get. The exact same mechanism applies to relationships. When everything is predictable, the constant messages, the daily check-ins, the always available partner, the excitement fades. It feels safe, but also flat. In contrast, uncertainty creates an emotional surge. Questions like, what did he mean by that look? Why hasn't she replied yet? What will happen next? Push your brain into overdrive. And that overdrive doesn't feel exhausting, it feels thrilling. This is why people often become addicted to intriguing individuals. Not because those people are objectively better, smarter, or more attractive, but because they create an uncertain emotional landscape. It's like rolling a dice every day. The unpredictability itself becomes addictive. Neuroscientists call this phenomenon intermittent reinforcement, the same principle that keeps gamblers glued to a slot machine or that pulls us back to social media over and over again, hoping for that one like or message. You never know exactly when the reward will come, and that's precisely what keeps you hooked. But there's a second layer. Uncertainty doesn't just trigger your dopamine system, it also touches your primal instincts. From an evolutionary perspective, our brains constantly had to assess risks. Is there danger behind the bushes? Will the hunt succeed? Will the harvest come through this year? Uncertainty kept us alert and searching for information. Today, that same mechanism still runs, not in the jungle, but in our love lives, careers, and friendships. That's why a relationship in which everything is perfectly predictable often feels less exciting. The emotions flatten out. And that's why relationships where uncertainty is present, even in small doses, can feel so much more intense. It's not about manipulation, it's about understanding this psychological mechanism. Intrigue grows in the space uncertainty leaves behind. The irony is that on one hand, we crave certainty. We want to know that someone cares for us. But on the other hand, it's doubt that creates excitement. This paradox makes uncertainty one of the most powerful instruments in human connection. So the next time you notice that someone has you hooked without doing much at all, remember this. It's probably not the person themselves who's so special. It's the psychology of uncertainty hijacking your brain and holding you captive in a loop of addiction.